Hello everybody. Today I'm going to cover Clenbuterol. So if I could only use one fat burner, this would be it. For me, this is the best fat burner out there. Now, before I delve into it, Clenbuterol would be on the banned substance list for a lot of different sports and such. So if you're a tested athlete, you probably can't use this. But if you're not, let's get into it. So over the years, I used to see different protocols on how to use it and so on. There used to be a lot of popularity around the 2-on, 1-off protocol, which was taking it 2 days on, 1 day off. A lot of this was like, because your body gets used to clenbuterol quite quickly and you need to up the dose and such. But it doesn't get used to it as quickly as you think, from my own experience. And just because some of the immediate kind of little effects you notice might wear off. Like one of the effects most people notice when they take it first is, for the first day or two, you might notice your hands a little bit shaky like that, but that wears off. But just because that wears off doesn't mean that the clenbuterol isn't working in your body after that. I can assure you it certainly is. So, I'll delve into, how I use it myself and what I've found to be best. So before I start, I would only use this to last 6 to 8 weeks, before a contest, or, if somebody is trying to get really lean and, they want to get off that last stubborn body fat. If you are have quite a bit of fat, diet and training and cardio and such will get it off. You don't need clenbuterol to do that, so save it for when you actually need it would be my advice. So as I say, I would start using it 8 weeks out. So the last 8 weeks. And most clenbuterol tablets these days come in 40 micrograms. So I would start with 1 tablet for 2 weeks. And then every 2 weeks after that, I would increase it by 20 micrograms or half a tablet. So I would do 20 for 2 weeks, I would do 40 for 2 weeks, then do 60, then do 80, and then finally the last 2 weeks I do 100 micrograms. So that way your body doesn't get used to the clenbuterol. You're increasing it gradually. And what I've noticed is, and when I do cardio, for instance, in the morning, I wear a heart rate monitor, so to know what my heart rate is. What you'll find is when you first take clenbuterol is, let's say you were doing level 7 on the Stairmaster, and that was 130 beats per minute. After a day or two on clenbuterol, you'll find you'll get to 130 beats per minute, probably doing level 4. So you'll be going around. So it raises, your resting heart rate by what I found about 20 beats per minute or so. So you're constantly going to be just burning more fuel, and that's how the fat comes off. That's one of the primary mechanisms. But what you'll notice is, and I've noticed is, after about the 10-day mark, we'll say on a certain dose, all of a sudden you might have to be going up to kind of 4 to 5 to back to 6 maybe on the Stairmaster. It's starting to lose its effect. So I find then every 2 weeks, you throw that half a tablet in again, throw that extra 20 micrograms in, and then all of a sudden you're back where you were again. Your body is back using it, that the heart rate is back up and so on. So that to me, I found, to be the best. And then after, you don't really want to go over a dose of, 120 micrograms, 3 tablets, would be pretty much a maximum dose. So, if you're hitting that and you've maxed out at that, you just need time off. The receptors need to clear out again before you'd use it. So as I say, that 6 to 8 week period is kind of, ideal, and gradually increase it every 2 weeks. So that's how I use it, and that's how I recommend people to use it. And as I say, side effects you might notice would be the jittery hands first. You might be a bit hotter, sweat a bit more. As I say, your heart rate would be up. But other than that, I haven't noticed any negatives. Cramping. You may notice like weird cramps. So you might cramp in your abs and get, I really, really are cramping your traps or cramp in weird places in the body. So that's another side effect of clenbuterol. Yeah, so watch out for, really severe cramps. But they'll go once you say open up the abs and breathe it, it'll go away. So that's another thing. The clenbuterol is good if that's happening. And yeah, so overall, look, it's very, very effective. There are, as I say, a few side effects, but if it's used moderately and for short periods of time, you should be fine, unless you have a heart condition or something like that. And interestingly enough, there's also a little bit, they say anyway, a mild anabolic or anti-catabolic effect. So it may even help you maintain muscle as well. So unlike, say, something like T3 or something, which would burn off everything if you take a high dose of it. So hence again why I would say this is the number one fat burner out there. So there you have it.